It's 42 degrees in Sydney today, and a lot of people with home batteries are wondering, how hot do they actually get? I've actually seen some people, they're well-meaning, but going a bit overkill, and their batteries are in their garage and they're running air conditioners in their garage. You don't need to do that. These kind of batteries are usually rated to work at full performance up to 50 degrees, 45 degrees. The Anker SOLIX X1, which is what I have, is rated to work at 100% till 55 degrees. Now, how do you measure that? Sometimes the battery manufacturer gives you the temperature of each power module and battery module in the app. That's the best way, ideally. Unfortunately, Anker has not enabled that yet. Hopefully they do that in 2026. Come on, Anker, let's have that feature in 2026. Otherwise, you can use tools like a thermal camera, which I have borrowed from my local library, and I'll show it to you in a second.
Please contribute. It really helps my independent, honest journalism for you.
This is the thermal camera, which I've borrowed from the local library, like I mentioned. It's a brand called FLIR, but they're not sponsoring this. They're just a popular brand of thermal camera, and my local library happened to have some for free to borrow, and I did borrow it. Now, these kind of thermal cameras work in two ways. They work by pointing at a particular surface and showing you what the current temperature is. As you can see here, top of the battery is hotter than the bottom of the battery. That's not a surprise, considering that the top is where the power module is, which does a lot of the hard work. And at the moment, being so hot, I'm earning quite a lot of money on Amber Electric exporting power to the grid. I reckon it's possible I will break $50 today, maybe $100 if the power prices are super volatile. Anyway, that's a topic for another day. What about this though? Let's show you how it works. It works by pointing at a surface, and depending on how glossy it is, there are settings in here to change the glossiness level of what you're pointing at. It will be more or less accurate, but there's also something here called a thermocouple, little cable, yellow cable, which lets you do a contact temperature test, which is better. It's still not as good as getting the live temperature readout from the system itself in the app, but a contact test will be much more accurate than a surface test. Surface test is pretty hard to calibrate a proper reading for unless you know the exact emissivity and reflectiveness of the surface you're pointing at. Let's do a test with both methods and see what it gets. Let's have a look at how this FLIR thermal camera works. It's a TG267 model, by the way, if you're interested. And I haven't checked the price, but I'm guessing it's like quite a lot, few $100s. I'll put the price on screen if you're interested. Now, while the surface area sort of point and shoot measurement method is not super accurate, it is kind of relatively accurate in that different things and their temperature difference from each other will be interesting. As you can see, I'm pointing at the bottom battery module is about 38. Let's move up. Does it get hotter? This higher part of the battery was in the sun for a little bit in the middle of the day, even though I'm got it located in a narrow laneway. We're looking at 40 as we move up. And not surprisingly at all, the top power module is been cranking and been working very hard. It's currently, according to this, at 49. I wouldn't look at the exact temperature. Basically, I'd say it's roughly 10 degrees hotter at the top than it is at the bottom. A bit more than 10 degrees. Wow. Let's put the contact sensor in touch with the actual metal and see if this changes. No, it seems pretty accurate actually. Pretty close. What about at the top? The top is cooler. Nope. It's now picking up the TC thermocouple is picking up that the top is pretty similar, about 50 degrees. Yeah, that's pretty hot. I wouldn't want to be 50 degrees, but It's still comfortable. Like, I wouldn't want to touch this for too long. Ooh, that is too hot now. But it didn't burn me instantly. Here's proof of the temperature, by the way. It peaked at 42 about an hour ago, which is pretty hot for late December in Sydney. And this is what my Anker system is up to in the Anker app. The clouds have gone overhead for a minute, so the solar's only generating at less than half capacity. And Amber, what's it up to? Let's have a look. Looks like a peak power event with super volatile pricing. A potentially very volatile period is coming up in the next half an hour or so, where the price to buy a kilowatt hour of electricity could be between $16 to almost $24. Whoa, good thing I have a big battery. This 30 kilowatt hour Anker SOLIX X1 system. Now, the key is, because my battery is already full, potentially, if these prices pay off, I could be earning between $14 and $21 roughly a kilowatt hour for my exports during the next half an hour. That's interesting.
Thanks for liking, subscribing, and sharing my videos. It really helps me make more videos like this for you. And have a look at the suggested videos up above. I'm pretty sure you'll like those as well. Thanks, and see you later.